Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Tampa Honda, of course, in Tampa, Florida. And look what we were able to track down. Their very first, this is it. This is the refresh, updated, changed up 2021 Honda Accord Hybrid. This particular one is the top dog. This is the touring trim, and it is featured in an optional color called Platinum White. But before we dive into this fuel-sipping mid-size of a sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. The Honda Accord, it's been around since 1976, but you know what? In that time, it has really made such a major impact on the auto industry. It won Car and Driver's top 10 best vehicles 34 separate times over its long history. It's going to give you lots of interior space, and then of course, if you go hybrid, you're going to get that great fuel sipping strategy. Now, for 2021, this is a refresh, this is an update. So what that means is soon, maybe not 2022, but I'm thinking 2023, we're gonna see a redesign. But you know what? Should you wait for 2023? I don't think so. I don't think you should wait for a redesign because I think there's still a lot to love, a lot to enjoy about the Honda Accord. So let's go ahead, find out, is this the better hybrid than a Toyota Camry, than the Hyundai Sonata? And is this the one you should get or wait for the redesign? Let's find out. First off, that Platinum White sparkles like a diamond in the Tampa, Florida sun. When we start at the front of the business, what are we looking at? We're looking at a new updated LED headlight system, looking good, looking clean. Everything on the interior is all blacked out. You're gonna have LED daytime running lamps. And what I like is you're gonna get that same overall look as the sister brand, the premium brand, when it comes from Acura. Maybe not so much the jewel setup, but you're still getting a nice bright white light. It's been redesigned to really illuminate the road in front of you very well. Now, what else has been changed up? That whole lower corner area. So a little bit of gloss black is balancing nice, like yin and yang with the Platinum White. And then you're gonna get that LED fog lamp down there. So they didn't take out the fog lamps. A lot of sedans are, a lot of cars, fog lamps are disappearing, but you're getting them on the refresh Honda Accord. Now, the biggest change, the biggest talking point is the center grille area. So they went with a little bit different overall feel. You have the horizontal chrome slots here, some gloss black. They took the Honda sensing technology, they kind of reshaped it and moved it a little bit far back from the front so it wasn't sticking out like a sore thumb. Of course, you're gonna get your blue trim around the Honda badge. That signifies that this is a fuel-sipping hybrid example. And there's some updates that they made to that whole setup to make the driving experience a little bit more enjoyable. Massive chrome brow, but what I like about it is how it sweeps from one side to the other and really balances nice with the gloss black. Now, when we get up onto the hood, same exact hood, everything else is gonna be the same. Platinum White, I'm telling you, it's like a bowling ball. That's how much sparkle it has to it, but you have a nice simple rise in the center. Other than that, everything else is looking the same. Now, when we come around the bend, guess what? We have a new updated wheel and tire. Now, some people are saying, and I can see it, it looks like it's coming from the previous generation Honda Civic, but what the hybrid is rolling on for the first time in Accord hybrid history is a 19-inch wheel. I tend to like the design of the wheel. I think that it has just enough machined aluminum finish, some gloss black. Do I prefer maybe the touring wheel on the standard last gen or even the Sport 2-liter turbo wheel? Yeah, I do prefer that wheel a lot more. But you know what? To have a 19-inch wheel on a hybrid and it doesn't look like some type of flying saucer to try to channel the air, I am digging that. Now, you have rotors that are right around 12.7 inches in diameter, fully ventilated, and of course, you're gonna get that great suspension. Tasteful hybrid badge, nothing too gaudy, but I'm telling you, look at all the metallic flake in that paint job. It is an option. We'll talk more about pricing very, very soon. But if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the width of these tires? 235 on the width, 40 series sidewall, and I think the machined finish with the white is fitting it to a T. Same body line, super clean. We took the Platinum White, we spilled it all over the mirror caps. You have just on the top, some bright metal work. I think that is just enough, especially on this touring trim. You have your sunroof, standard size sunroof, no panoramic sunroof. So I am gonna zonk that. Would be nice to have a panoramic sunroof, but you're gonna have some shiny metalwork looking on the door handles. Along the bottom on the lower sill, I do love this body line. This body line down here really, I think, sets off the side of the side of the Accord perfectly. And the way that it kind of sweeps up towards the rear tire is a nice touch. The one thing that's always bothered me is how the trim goes all the way towards the rear. I'm gonna zonk that. It will look a lot cleaner, I think, just being just straight up platinum white. Now, the way they took the trim off the back, the way it flares out, nice touch, good size on that quarter window, color matched shark fin antenna, and then when we get to the tail end of the business, simple and clean. What's great about these hybrids today, they don't look like some type of weird paper airplane that you made when you were in elementary school. You know how it's got all those weird folds and then you throw it in and just go straight down? These things cheat the air very well, but they also looks like a Honda Accord, just like any other Honda Accord here at Tampa Honda. You can see how the rear glass is kind of recessed in with those rear pillars to channel that air to have it come off the back of the vehicle. The other big zonk, and I know a lot of people were saying, if they would have just changed this, I probably would go down and maybe get one of these right now. It's that stapler style taillight design. You're gonna have to wait for the redesign. It's not happening for the refresh, but you do have tasteful badging. I like the way they kind of extend the trunk off a little bit just to kind of house that Honda badge. And then as we drop down, you're gonna get simple black across the bottom portion. You got your hybrid Touring trim. Remember, this is the top trim, Touring trim with the hybrid technology. And then what's nice is no exhaust, no fake exhaust, nothing, anything like that. Just a little bit of chrome to kind of balance out from front to back. But why don't we pop the hood and see what's powering our hybrid? All right, guys, we got the hood popped open. It does have a prop rod, and I am gonna zonk that. On a Touring trim, it should have hydraulic hood struts. And yes, I know that over time, a hydraulic hood strut is gonna need to be replaced. But what do we have underneath that hood? Actually, a very, very unique setup. You have a 2-liter inline-4 naturally aspirated engine. What's interesting about that engine is that it could actually power the front wheels, but it could also be used to recharge the lithium-ion battery. So you could generate electricity with it or power the front wheels. It's 143 horsepower alone. Pair that with the electric motor, you're now looking at 212 horsepower, 232 pound-feet of torque. Honda says that they've kind of retuned the whole setup to give you a little bit more oomph, especially from a dead stop. 0 to 60 is right around 7 seconds, and top speed is 116 miles an hour. The hybrid Touring weighs in around 3,447 pounds, and where you're gonna come out the big winner are MPGs. 44 in the city and 41 on the highway is really gonna challenge what's coming from, like I said, Toyota with the Camry hybrid and definitely Hyundai with the Sonata hybrid. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what changes are in store for 2021. All right, guys, we're in the 2021 Honda Accord hybrid Touring trim. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, you must have read my mind because I'm looking for a midsize sedan. I've been looking hybrid to try to, hyper mile since I have a lot of driving to do. I really like the setup, the way you talked about how that internal combustion engine drives the wheels but also produces electricity as well, and the direct drive transmission. How much is this? You're looking at MSRP for the Touring trim with the platinum white color, $37,590 is the MSRP. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panels. Love the soft touch material. I'm even loving that wood trim. It just adds enough to where you're not going too overboard. A little bit of silver trim there, and then everything else is gonna be nice black material, soft on the middle section, soft on that armrest, easy to clean. The sad news is only one hot dog from 7-Eleven, maybe one of those egg rolls on a stick that they sell at 7-Eleven, and a bottle of Mr. Pibb to wash it down. Now, when you get to the dash, soft material, the wood trim is classy without, like I said, without being too obnoxious. All Accords are getting the 8-inch infotainment system, new for 2021. You have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You do have to go EXL or higher. So if you go LX, don't send me a message saying, Joe, you lied to me. It's EXL and higher for the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. All trims come with some form of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You have your navigation. I like the way you have actual knobs and buttons, and it's also a touchscreen. So that's nice as well. We could go back to home. You have your features here. You can move the icons around. We could go into our power flow. and see what's going on with trying to hypermile. And what's nice is that there's an anti-glare finish on the screen. I'm gonna throw it into reverse. There's our backup camera. It would be nice on a touring trim. I am gonna zonk that there's no 360. But the great news is you do have emergency braking. You have all that Honda sensing technology, which is gonna keep you safe. But it would have been nice to have some type of 360 camera there, at least on the touring trim. And then we're back to home. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Same grade AC vents, ventilated and heated seats. Because you went touring trim, you deserve it. You got dual climate control, your power on button. Remember, the hybrids and electric vehicles have that power on button. Nice door, open sesame. Oh, I didn't say the magic word. Please open. See, that's all it is, the magic word. You have a wireless charging pad in there, 2 USBs and a 12 volts. I'm not even gonna try to close that because I wanna keep this rolling. 2 cup holders. I do like the flat gray finish. It doesn't produce glare. You got that push button transmission operation for the direct drive setup in here. You even have a sport mode. So if you're gonna enter the hybrid races, you could go ahead and hit that. If you wanna remember what it was like to be back in high school and learn about economics, you hit that button, and then you have a full EV button as well. Key fob, there's your standard Honda key fob. It's small, it's tasteful, it's clean. I'm digging it. You got remote start. I even like on the edge how you have the nice stitch work. Armrest is nice and wide. The challenge is it's hard as a rock. So if you like putting your body parts on rocks, you're gonna love this armrest. But the good news is it's nice and wide. Open it up. What do we have? We have a party tray, maybe some peanuts, some cashews, some walnuts, macadamians. And then you're gonna have another USB, and you could easily put in here, I would say 2 softballs. Maybe 4 tennis balls. If you're lucky, you might squish your balls a little bit, but hey, it comes with the territory. Seats, love them in the touring, and I'm so glad that we have the dark interior. So many times on Rady's Rides we have beige, 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 beige. I'm digging the dark interior, nice and soft. Obviously full electric assist for the passenger and the driver. And the nice thing is you have a light headliner. That kind of makes it a little bit more open and airy in here. Standard sunroof, I'm gonna zonk it. Would be nice to have the panoramic sunroof. But why don't you come over to the business end so I could show you that we have a head-up display and some other goodies over here. Come on over. All right, guys, business time in the touring hybrid. You do have 2 memory seat settings for the driver's seat. Here's your electric seat controls, easy to get to. I like how comfortable the seats are. One thing to just be aware of, the Accords, you sit a little low on the driver's side especially, so something just to take into consideration. And yes, you can raise and lower the seat. It just always feels a little bit low compared to other vehicles. Steering wheel, I love a Honda steering wheel. The thickness is spot on the money. Everything's flat black. You got your nice thumb wheel control. You do have paddles, obviously for the regenerative braking. You do have regenerative braking, and you can adjust the amount of regenerative braking, and that's what the paddles are for. It's not for shifting through simulated gears or anything like that. And then the dash is a mixture. It's actually a hybrid itself. You have a hybrid within a hybrid within a hybrid within a hybrid. So you have a analog speedometer, and then you have that digital display on the left, which you could toggle through a bunch of different information. We could go into fuel and economy. Very simple, very easy. And then of course we have a nice large head-up display, which is actually movable, which is a nice touch as well. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to that back seat, because I know your passenger is gonna be sitting on a lithium-ion battery, and I wanna see how much room they have. All right, guys, back seat time, and this is really where the Accord, especially in this mid-size class, just kicks butts and takes names. Lots of room back here, 6 feet tall. I know perspective-wise, it may look like it's a little tight for me. It really isn't. They did a great job with carving out the headliner. Backs of the seats, leather all the way around. You got a great sized pocket. Put some bananas, some granola bars. Put the healthy stuff in the pockets. Put the junk food in the center console. That's how I like to live my life. You have your 2 AC vents, and then guess what? Yes, they listen to Rady's Rides. 2 USBs, 1 on each side. That is what I'm talking about. We've been in vehicles that cost way more than this one, and you don't get anything. You don't even get 2 cans and a string. What's funny is the Acura TLX, which is redesigned for 2021, no USBs in the back. Don't even ask me who came up with that decision. They probably have no job. When it comes to armrests, I'm liking the softness. It's Charmin soft, like triple ply. 2 cup holders, but you know what? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get into that trunk and then we're taking this for a drive. All right, guys, time to get into the trunk. You hit the button right underneath the H, pop the trunk, nice wide opening. You're looking at about 17 cubic feet of space, and what's great is because the lithium-ion battery is underneath the rear passenger seat, you're still getting tons of trunk volume. I like how deep the floor is. I also love these handles that Honda puts in their trunks so that you could easily just yank on them and then have the seats do a 60-40 tango. But you know what? We have this hybrid setup. We have a direct drive transmission setup. Let's take it for a little spin and see how many miles we could get to the gallon. All right, guys, we're leaving Tampa Honda. We're in the 2021 Honda Accord hybrid touring trim. Right away, I always love the layout in these Accords. Maybe it doesn't have the freshest style, but placement of everything makes perfect sense. The thickness of the steering wheel, like I said, they do such a great job. You have a tilting and telescoping steering wheel. It is manual, so I am gonna zonk that. It would be nice to have electric assist on the touring trim, but the head-up display looks great. That hybrid setup of the gauges is wonderful. You have your navigation, the wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. That's one of the most asked for features right now for 2021. And then visibility is great. Out the windshield, the A-pillars are far apart. I can see great out the back. Easy to reach, easy to get to everything. I mean, the buttons, the knobs, I could go into my power flow so you could see that in action. We're gonna take it out onto the highway and see how it cruises down the road. And then of course we do have sport mode with the adaptive dampers, all four corners. That's gonna adjust the stiffness of the suspension and give us a nice overall feel, whether you want to handle or whether you want comfort. On throttle, here we go. Little bit of tire screech. Screeching tires, a happy tire. You got that direct drive that's getting you down the road. And you know what? It does feel like it has just a little bit more oomph off the line, the way that they've retuned the hybrid system. Especially for that instant torque, because remember, off the electric motor, you're gonna get that instant torque, which is gonna even give you that quicker feeling acceleration. But driving down the highway here, over the expansion joints, it feels good. You can see the system working. I got the ventilated seats on. Really, really nice overall setup, especially with the darker interior. I'm digging it. The seats are comfortable, full electric assist. You got plenty of room back there for the passengers, and they have their USB ports back there, and you have your wireless charging up here. So they got you covered every which way. Driving dynamics, Honda does a great job when it comes to handling and everything. Those paddles, like I said, you see how, I don't know if you could tell, but I'm actually slowing down right now without hitting the brake. And it tells you with the visual of some arrows to let you know how much regenerative braking. If you want less, you hit the right paddle. If you want more, you hit the left paddle. And that's technology that was designed with the KERS system in Formula One. So you're gonna get that great technology in this Honda Accord hybrid. Wonderful driving dynamics. I like the feel to the steering. And everything else is, it just makes sense and feels good while you're in this vehicle. Unbelievable that your rear passengers don't have less room with that lithium-ion battery back there underneath the seat. But once again, on throttle. So with that direct drive, you are getting loud RPM sound. But if you notice, most of the driving though around town, you're not gonna be on throttle with the pedal all the way to the floor. I mean, here I am just pulling away. And it's really seamless, to be honest with you, with the transitioning of the electric motors and the internal combustion engine. Super smooth. I like the way it rides, even in sport mode. I'll take it out of sport mode. And remember, touring trim, you get those adaptive dampers, and they've done some great work with revalving and the compression and the rebound for 2021. And you have the different aesthetics on the exterior. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the Accord Hybrid Touring is all about for 2021. We're going to wrap this up and get back to Tampa Honda, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here at Tampa Honda. I definitely got to thank Sam and the rest of the crew getting us their very first. This is it, the 2021 Honda Accord Hybrid with that touring trim. It really shows that, you know what, with this generation, there's still a little bit longer, a little bit more life in it. With the changes and the updates that Honda has made, they really have kind of freshened things up, especially when it comes to that functionality of the interior with the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Is it the one to get over a Toyota Camry Hybrid or the Hyundai Sonata Hybrid? That's really for you to decide, but I'm telling you right now, if you are thinking about making a mid-size hybrid purchase, you want to add this to your list so that you really can compare apples to apples. But if you want to keep seeing lots of Apple action with these mid-size sedans here on Ready's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ready's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description. Yes, get yourself some Ready's Rise merch. Got to give it up to Queen of the Camera, Queen of YouTube, Lori, working that camera like a champ. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.